Today is Thursday, and as always, I'm grateful for so much. There really is so much to be thankful for. I'm thankful for God's grace and mercy, because I always need it. I just don't always get things right. I'm grateful that He loves me. He does not throw me away. I am grateful that His love means, well, I'll say this. I'm grateful that He corrects me from His love and not from like judgment. And that it actually, that love and that grace, that mercy invites me to move in that same spirit as I deal with people. And I do feel a sense of urgency with some of the ways that I deal with people, because I just be missing it on so many things, and I'm tired of it. But I am thankful that His grace is sufficient and it covers me, and that it's not guilt or shame that's going to change me. It's His love. It's doing things from His love, because I have been, again, in my own strength, trying to correct certain ways that I deal with people. And it really has just backfired so many times. But as I lean into what the Lord is doing, He deals with it and deals with me and deals with the people too. Like, He helps me to deal with the people. Because here's the deception that I've been falling for, is that I have to do so much. Like, it's like so much, like I gotta do it all. And even as I dial it back, the things that I'm doing in my own strength, I am realizing that there's just so much that I believe that I just gotta do. Like, I'm on my own. I just gotta do these things. So even as I know that God is fighting my battles for me, or I have victory in Him, it's not by my power or might. It's not by my own effort. It's in His Spirit. It's a lot of stuff that I just feel so trained to just do, thinking that it's actually Him requiring me to do it. I hate that. I hate that I have been so steeped in just religious foolishness for most of my life. From going to church, being around different people who who love to call themselves Christians, and then just enjoying church because of what it offers, but just sitting and watching pastors just lie, and then not always being able to discern when they lying. I've been programmed to really believe so many lies about God by people who claim they believe in Him. And I've probably participated in programming other people. And that's the humbling part. Like, I have probably helped somebody else believe a lie about God. I know I have. I mean, I could think of some examples. By my behaviors, most definitely, but by actual indoctrination or false doctrine, or sharing something that's just like not true about Him. And that's some scary stuff. Oh God. But He's merciful and gracious, and that He corrects us up out of it. He pulled me out of that. He really pulled me out of that kind of just automated hypocrisy of it all, if that makes sense. Yet, a lot of my behaviors are still just me trying to do things in my own strength. And I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So my prayer is just to have His Spirit drive the change, because the adjustments I was trying to make with some behaviors, like how I interact with certain people, like even how I deal with things at work, I had been wanting to adjust how I talk about certain things. I really have been, but it was so easy to just kind of talk about things the way I had been already. Or, and to just go along with, it's just, and it's kind of how, I've just never worked at a job this frustrating before. And that has created a lot of conversations. And I don't remember, well, I guess even without comparing it to the past, I just wanted to measure the way I handled these conversations. And today I was reminded, that in general, that's just a good idea. Even though I still have my convictions about being vocal and speaking when I speak, if that makes sense. Especially if I feel like one of my main things has been, I don't like to talk about people when they're not around, especially in a way that I have not already addressed with them. Now, if I've addressed the thing with a person and they just doing whatever, I personally, and this is something the Lord will have to help me with if I'm wrong, I personally feel no obligation to, unless, like, I'm not trying to, I don't disclose people's stuff per se, but I feel no secrets, and I feel no obligation to cover whatever happens with me and people, especially if it's something that I discussed, especially if they're doing something that's harmful. And that's another thing for me. If you're doing something that to me and I can see you do it to other people, I don't feel a sense of obligation about how I discuss the way you harm people. That's never been me. And personally, that's never going to be me. I have learned discretion around how to discuss those things. Like, there's certain jobs you get at schools, different things, discretion, and understandably so. And I've never struggled with that because it's just built into the job itself. But when it comes to harm, and I'm watching you do it, and I don't feel I have to convince nobody to agree with me about how I'm going to go about doing that. And the crazy thing is I'm on YouTube talking about it because that's something I stand on. However, just because people are harmful does not mean there's not a level of discernment and discretion in how you move in those discussions. Now, that I do know. And that is something that I've considered and had convictions about in previous settings and things like that, and that I've chosen to honor in different ways. And it's something I'm still learning. I have just not ever been in this position I'm in now before and never seen anything like it. And I've never been at a job where I'm so sort of like isolated from the bigger picture of the operation. Of course, I could learn more things on the website, things like that, but I don't exist in the bigger culture of this place. I just exist in this small operation. And I really feel like it just needs to be known, the type of mess that's happening in a small operation. How I go about making that known does still need to be handled carefully, right? So, like, on here, I don't talk about where I work. I try not to give away any specifics because the purpose of this is me expressing gratitude and how I'm getting through these things and the things that God shows up and does for me through these things. Even when a part of that gratitude is the lessons and the refinement that's coming from these things. So it's less about what's going wrong and it's more about how I'm being shaped through it. Because several weeks ago, I talked about, like, how do you handle harmful people. And that's when I realized my own programming was still so much tied up in protecting certain types of harmful people. Even if I'm making a decision not to, that there was still programming in me that behaved in a way that could enable harm. That was surprising to me. But then also resisting this desire to become harmful in reaction to harmful people. And that's where the discussions come into play. I don't want to perpetuate a type of harm just because other people are doing something they're not supposed to be doing. Like, I don't want to feed a nature in me that is in defiance of God, or that does not align with the gracious, loving, forgiving, merciful God who received me while I was in sin. He died for my sins. And so today, I am thankful that as I learn these lessons, God is gracious with me. And that I'm able to glean from all different types of people, even the people who are doing the harm. I am able to actually glean certain things from them that actually help me learn and grow in a way to continue to address these things. That's all God. That's all God. Because it's so easy to just completely put people in a box. You just figure, okay, this is who that person is. This is what they do. You put them in a box. And when you do that, there's nothing you can get. And there's really nothing you can offer. Because if you put them in a box in your heart and mind, whatever it is you're trying to share or however it is you're trying to be impactful, it's already restricted by that box. So that's my goal, is to not put these people in a box that gets in the way of growth in them or in me, and to not become harmful just because other people are harmful, and to trust in God and to continue to seek Him to help me walk out the victory over these things. So I'm thankful for His mercy and His grace as I do that, because there's a lot going on here. It just gives me the impression this is just not somewhere aligned with my core values, because I am a vocal person. And even in these lessons I'm learning, there are some instances where I'm not going to take back what I say or do in life. Like, there are instances where people really, I've just learned that if you tell the truth and you tell it too loud, a lot of people gonna get mad. They're just gonna get, it's just uncomfortable. But what I ascribe to is that if it can stop some harm and stuff from happening, I'd rather tell the truth real loud than to be quiet about it. Even though there are some strategies you can employ in those things, but I like to do that too. But I've just learned that some places, they'll rather wait till the bad thing happen to deal with a thing than accept the truth. And because there's processes and all that. But when you sitting and you looking at it, it's like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. So I'm learning a lot about myself, and also the ways that I need to grow as a leader, and the strengths that I have as a leader, and how I show up, and why I show up the way that I do. And God is showing me things that He affirms in me, and things that He's trying to refine in me. And even though I learn from people about it, I don't need anybody else to validate it. And that's another thing I'm thankful to God for. I don't need any other individual to validate me and how I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing, while still leaving room for them to inform it, and offer it. But validate? No. And there is so much freedom in that. And I've needed that freedom, because that wasn't always the case for me. That just was not always the case. So I thank God for that. I mean, it used to be so bad to where if one person would say things, I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. So that must be right. Or, I would try to align with that, right? And if another person said another thing and it was kind of different, I was like, okay, well, that makes sense too. I'll align with that. I mean, but you're hearing so much from different people to the point where whatever, quote unquote, makes sense in that moment, if you always adjusting your alignments based on the views and convictions of other people, you just end up mixed up. And that's where I was, as a younger adult. Mixed up because I was just really just tied up in getting validation from people and people pleasing. But now that the Lord has brought me out of that, I'm able to actually better, like I said, learn from people without tying myself to whatever their convictions are or waiting for or seeking out their validation. Because I don't need it. I don't need nobody's validation. So, I thank God for that. I thank God for that breakthrough. I thank God that whatever is going on at work, that He continues to refine me through it and show me His glory through it. I thank God that, even with the school program, which was going good, and that I was inspired and motivated and had all these ideas. I was so stressed out not even stressed out. I want to say dysregulated. I've been so overwhelmed with a lot of this stuff at my job. Because frustrated is one thing, but the way these past few weeks have gone, just flat out overwhelmed. And I could hardly put together my ideas and my thoughts into words and some of my responses. The main thing was writing. And I'm a writer. I could think of certain things, but writing them on the page, it didn't feel like writer's block where you don't have an idea. It was a weird feeling. And it felt familiar. It felt like some of those places my mind got caught up like last year and the year before. And the program is accelerated, so a little bit too much time goes by and you behind. But I'm thankful I did try it though this springtime, because it showed me that it is the right program for me, and I do have some great ideas. I keep saying I'm loving the material, but I'm taking so much out of what we've been reading, and it's giving me so much inspiration, and that feeling of inspiration and the ideas and the perspectives that were coming. I'm going to capitalize on that. I'm not yielding that just because of what's going on, but man. And I had to come to terms with some of the reasons why actually writing it down was hard. And it's a little too complicated to go into in this video. It'll be too long, but I'm thankful that I was even able to make that decision and not fall apart and not slip into a dark place. Because when I realized what was happening and the way I was so, I want the words, stressed out, overwhelmed. My brain was so caught up in trying to navigate this web of mess at work. And when I noticed that it was like hijacking me, so even now talking about it, I get it. When you get punished for speaking up for yourself, it tries to train you into not speaking. And so even though I was doing some of the posts and things with the class, like writing the actual paper, a lot of my inspiration was going to come from my job. And I think subconsciously I just felt too scared to just write, just too scared. Because I'm working somewhere where even though I'm speaking up and doing things, I'm just getting met with more abusive behavior, more dishonesty, all these things. But I'm not going to stop speaking up. And I'm not going to give up on the inspiration that I got out of that first class. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm going to forge ahead. Have I handled everything right? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to move ahead. Have I harmed anybody? At this point, it hasn't been brought to my attention that I've caused any harm in that real in any different ways. But that don't mean I'm off scot-free, and that's why I want to tighten up certain things. Because I don't want none of the stuff that's going on to just cause harm. But are some people going to be uncomfortable when I tell the truth and speak up? Yes, they are, and I cannot help that. Because the main people that's uncomfortable is the ones doing the harm. And sometimes even people who not doing harm get uncomfortable because, you know, some people who see the same thing you see get mad when you point it out because they don't want to feel obligated to address it. And there's other things involved too. And I've been on both sides of this, so I ain't trying to play a safe angle like I'm just, you know. I've been on both sides of that. I've been in positions where I saw something and I'm like, oof, I don't even want to get into that. And somebody else would deal with it, and it's so uncomfortable, like just watching them deal with what you already saw. I've been there before. What I'm not going to do is try to silence nobody who speak up. And if I've done that, I pray, Lord, forgive me and help me to remember it so I could just repent, because that ain't cool. But I believe that soon I'll just have guidance from the Lord on how to really move forward with all of this stuff, because it's too much. When I tell you, just email after email, just all this stuff, different people, so many conversations. And at a time where I feel like I just don't feel sharp at all. I've been tired. I can hardly sleep some of these nights. So I believe God will resolve this one way or the other for me. That I'll come out of this with lessons learned and more refined. And that He'll continue to be gracious with me. And I pray for everybody involved. And it's beyond work too. It's just that's what I was reminded of today. But it's family, it's other things, it's all kind of stuff. It's a bigger picture. It's my city, it's my neighborhood. I'm praying about all of this stuff because I just don't want to get bitter about none of it. I just refuse to let it, sour me. I refuse. So I know He's going to continue to teach me through this and keep me through this and get me through this. Oh, Jesus, help me through this, Lord Almighty. I know He will, and I believe it's going to be soon. I believe soon. I'm confident that very soon there will be some resolution where He's glorified. Because it's not just about me wanting Him to do something for me or wanting Him to end the discomfort. Like, I'm learning to choose joy and peace within it. And it's just a weird feeling. Because, like, one thing I am grateful to is that my overall mood has just been, okay. Right? But it's a weird feeling to sort of come to terms with what you're grateful with while you're in pain. So my mood has been okay, but I have been in emotional, mental pain dealing with this stuff. But I'm grateful that hasn't hampered my mood in general. Very grateful for that. But there's some other pieces to that too that's kind of complicated, because I don't know how often, I'll say that it's a little bit vulnerable, which I've been on this channel, but I just don't know if I'll go there now. And this is running long today. But I am grateful that I can look ahead and know that He's gone ahead of me. And I don't have to wait for this to be over to have joy and peace. Even though there's a lot of inner turmoil. And there's a lot of physical, emotional, mental, I'll call them insufficiencies. And I'm thankful He's given me the words for this video too. I've been struggling to find just regular words to say what I'm trying to say in conversations and things like that. Like, well, dang, then I just... I am still thankful he's giving me the words for this video, even though I just drew a blank right there. But I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. So we will see what happens. I know he's going to come through. I believe things will change for me in a way that glorifies him. I know that change may not just be like me getting my way or me getting everything I want, because that's not even what this is about. But I'm going to keep just trying to humble myself and let him mold me, make me, prepare me, exalt me, position me as he sees fit. So if you're watching this and you know the Most High, be encouraged. Be encouraged. Practice gratitude. Go to God about the complexities, even as you deal with the juxtaposition of having joy and being in despair at the same time. As you deal with the many juxtapositions of life in faith. Be encouraged to know that it's for a purpose and that there's a work he's doing that he will complete it. And it has to do with assignment, and that there's things he has put in you for you to give back to him and to serve people with, And if you don't know him, I pray that you will get to know. I pray that you will receive Jesus for who he is. I pray that you would understand what it means to be outside of his grace, what it means to be outside of the covering of the blood, and then to repent, which is just to change your mind, to elevate back to the mind of the Most High and receive him and come up, not just come out of the world, come out of sin, but come into the covering of his blood, and to leave death behind, which is outside of the covering of his blood, and to let that love that he is, let the love that he is transform you in the work of the cross. And I pray that you would, be deprogrammed from the lies, from all lies, but specifically be deprogrammed from the lies you believe about God, the lies you believe about Jesus, and be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Let the Holy Spirit really work on you. That's my prayer, that you will receive him and let that Holy Spirit work on you. So, y'all stay blessed.